What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having a great day. I know I am. Today I have a story time for you guys that was buried down deep in my youth. This actually was something that happened to me in elementary school, but basically our principal let this lady in to give us a presentation about like video games or something, and she ended up traumatizing the entire third grade class. So a casual Tuesday. Regardless though, this lady had her problems and really hated video games. Like, such a strong disdain for video games, dude. Honestly, if somebody would have whipped out a copy of an Xbox 360 game, her skin might have started bubbling. Like, she was that pressed constantly. Regardless, it should be a pretty fun video. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Celebrate. It's not good. Nice racking her ass Brazilian. Just turned 21, but my bank's a million. Swear I'm a little drunk, but it's...
Alright, so I don't know if I was the only one who went to an elementary school that would have guest speakers come in sometimes, but it probably wasn't a good idea, so I'm glad if I was. Basically, they would come in and give speeches about random things that, like, the teachers didn't want to teach us. Like, we don't want to teach the kids how to pay bills, so just have some guy come in on his lunch break and yell at the kids about how bad his job at H&R Block sucks, like, just stuff like that. And usually the kids, didn't really respond to it very well. Whenever we were told that we had an assembly later in the day, kids would groan and be like, ugh, which I know for most people usually is the exact opposite. Like, genuinely, our school made these principal assembly things so unbearable that we would groan in pain whenever they were announced. And one day, I'm at school just doing my thing, and sure enough, they announced that later that day we're going to be going down to the gymnasium so we can have a presentation from a very special guest, and it was a surprise topic that we were all gonna love. And when you tell a bunch of third graders that they have a surprise and they're gonna get like something super awesome, obviously we get very excited. Anyways, the time comes, our teacher makes us line up and put our fingers over our mouth. Remember when they used to do that? They'd be like, oh, you have to be quiet in the hallway. Why? What's going on in the hallway that requires me to be quiet? But whatever. Little me is like, fine, I'll do it. Whatever, teacher. Like, I felt so degrading, dude. It felt so condescending even back then, having this lady be like, you don't know how to shut up, so I'm gonna make you put your hands over your mouth? Like, the worst. Regardless, we go down to the gymnasium auditorium thing. Like, it was a 2-in-1 type of thing. We ate lunch in there too. It was just our multi-purpose room. That's what they called it. Now I remember. Regardless, we get in there and we walk in, and I'm with a couple of my friends, and I walk in and I see pictures of Master Chief from Halo, Sonic the Hedgehog, Lara Croft, all these video game characters. And as I've said, usually these assembly things suck, so I start getting hyped. Oh my god, these things usually make me want to, watch paint dry, and now we're gonna be talking about video games. This is the best day ever. And me and all my friends are all incredibly hyped, because how could we not be? You put a bunch of elementary school kids in front of video game stuff and tell me how they react. Not to mention, a lot of the games that were like on display or whatever were games that I wasn't allowed to play. I wasn't allowed to play Halo. I wasn't allowed to play Tomb Raider. Like, when I was a little kid, my parents kind of made me play games that they thought were appropriate. And back then, I didn't have like Minecraft and Roblox, dude. I was stuck playing Sly Cooper, which is why it's still my channel icon, and like Lego Indiana Jones. And those are good games, but obviously I wanted to play Halo. So I thought we were going to get a presentation about video games. So did all my friends. And we're very excited because, trust me, everyone is always in the mood to talk about video games, especially at school, because what's my other option? So we all sit down in like the middle of the multi-purpose room floor, and me and all my friends are whispering to each other about what we think it is. And like, a couple of us think that it's going to be a professional video game player that's going to teach us a class on like how to be professional. Another person thought it was going to be, GameStop coming to do a fundraiser. Like, we all had these ideas that seemed pretty fun. Like, and I love how I said GameStop fundraiser and fun, dude. They really tricked us back in the day. I watched this video, I think it was an iDubbbz video, about how like all those fundraisers in elementary school were such a scam. I really I agree with that in retrospect. But regardless, that's not important. We were talking about what it is, and the lights go down and everybody goes silent because they never like brought the lights down for anything. And as we're all whispering, this lady kind of comes out onto this stage that's a little bit above us where all the pictures were, and we're kind of enamored with her, dude, because the way she had it lit up, like you couldn't really see her yet. She was more of a shadow, and she's kind of like walking out, and all of us are hyped because now not only are we learning about video games, but we're learning about video games with a girl. Like, this is the best day ever. Little kid me was hyped. So the lights come on a little bit more, and it's this middle-aged lady with like one of those microphones that kind of comes down over her cheek in front of her mouth, and she says, "Hi guys," and we're all like, "Hi, video game lady, oh my god, oh, this is the best day ever, oh," you know, we're all very, very excited, and she seems excited. She's coming off very nice, like almost like a first grade teacher or a kindergarten teacher in terms of, you know, the tone of voice when they're just super patient and sweet, and you're like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a nice relaxing time. And then she says, "All right, guys, who loves video games?" And obviously, every single kid's hand shoots up, even if they didn't like video games, because this lady was like exciting. She had some charisma to her. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody's hand shoot up. Me, 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 me. I love video games. Ooh, ooh, me, 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 me. And a lot of them were straight up liars, because I know for a fact they were not gamers back in the day. But whatever, I'll let it slide for the purpose of the assembly as long as we're having a good time. I won't call anyone out. There is an imposter among us, though. That's a fact. And let's be honest, even if you weren't a gamer, if you were like in 3rd grade and you had the option to either sit here during this presentation about video games or go back and learn about like writing an essay or whatever, you're gonna pick Sonic the Hedgehog every time. Anyways, everyone's excited, and she's like, "Wow, guys, look around. Do you see all those hands up? Everybody, look. Do you see?" And everyone's like, "Wow, everyone's hands up." She's hyping everyone up, making us think it's gonna be some like cool thing that all of our hands are up. And this lady continues, "All those people with those hands up, those are the kids that are horrible people." And suddenly, all the smiles and everybody that was so excited, like all the smiles are getting wiped off everyone's faces. I don't know where this lady learned how to present or like who taught her to get a crowd, but she was killing it. Unironically, it's not very hard to kill it with a 3rd grade crowd when you're talking about video games, obviously. However, this lady somehow manages to just blow it, and everybody's looking all confused, and maybe she said something wrong. That's what I was thinking at the time. A couple kids are crying, like one girl in front of me to my left. She was wearing a pink shirt, dude, and she started crying because obviously she doesn't like to be called a bad person by this old lady that everybody was liking 20 seconds ago. 20 seconds ago, nicest presenter we've ever had, 10 out of 10, come back anytime. Now, she's making girls cry, and the gymnasium's kind of quiet because obviously we don't really know what's going on, and the lady points at the girl who's crying in front of me and says, "Look, she's even crying because she knows that she's guilty of awful lifestyle choices," which, like, at the time, horrifying. In retrospect, imagine some lady just screaming at 3rd graders that they make bad lifestyle choices. Lady, I don't even get to pick what I wear to school at this point, okay? I don't get to pick what I eat. I don't make any of my own lifestyle choices. I'm in 3rd grade, dude. Like, I couldn't read 2 years ago. Barely. I was hanging on for dear life, and now you expect me to be making my own lifestyle choices? Like, what's up with you? Obviously, that's my view now as a 21-year-old looking back, but at the time, dude, I was horrified. Oh no, are we making the wrong choice? Oh no, this is awful. But keep in mind, we are 8-year-olds, dude. We are 8. What is this supposed to teach me? I understand going in and yelling at kids about like vaping is bad, you shouldn't do it, whatever. But what is yelling at an 8-year-old that she's a horrible person who's crying because she should feel guilty about everything she's done, bruh? Like that is not a good way to get kids to do things. I mean, I'm sure it's effective for some people, but it wasn't effective on me. Hi, I'm gonna stop the story for a second and just ask everybody who's not already to subscribe. I guess like over half my viewers aren't subscribed, and you should if you're not, because I mean it's free. You can always unsub later, and as just a little piece of gratitude, I'm gonna start giving something away every video. So here's a $25 Roblox gift card to whoever gets it first. Congratulations. I usually put them at the end, but then people started skipping to the end, so if you're that person, get outsmarted, GG. But yeah, sub. I'm going back to the video now. So regardless, without missing a beat, this lady just goes from destroying the dreams of children. This girl is crying. She just told her that she should feel guilty and horrible because she's a bad person, and and then she just moves on like nothing happens. So she starts talking about how like all of these video games are actually teaching us to be horrible people and make mistakes that are gonna haunt us forever, and she's gonna show us how. And listen, I've heard the whole spiel about how like video games make you violent, or video games teach you this, and video games make you that, and I thought that's what she was about to say, right? But no, she starts going on about how Sonic the Hedgehog teaches kids that running away from home is a good thing, which, I mean, out of every argument I've heard why kids shouldn't play video games, that's a new one. Look, I'm just saying, guys, we should ban video games because that one hedgehog taught kids that it's a good idea to run away from home, which, if you've seen the Sonic movie that was released, actually is not the case. Yeah, little known fact, Sonic the Hedgehog's movie is actually about finding home. So in your face, lady, you didn't even know that. Learn your lore, you crazy old dingbat. Really though, I just don't understand what type of person is playing a Sonic game and is like, I should run away. Not once have I ever been playing that game and been like, ooh, yeah, all these rings are nice, but you know what would be way better? Not being home with them. Yeah, forget that. I'm just gonna keep running and running and running until I run out of time. And if my parents find me, well, I'll always be able to roll into a ball and knock them over just the way Sonic does. Like, if your kid is that dumb that he thinks the life of a video game hedgehog is for him, you clearly have deeper problems, dude. If your kid starts playing Nintendo games and thinks that he is Mario and that he should jump down the pipe to go fight the Goombas, then there was no hope for him anyways, let's just be honest here. But it doesn't stop there. The slander of the video games doesn't end with Sonic. No, no, no. What she does next is what I consider too far, alright? She looks over at Master Chief and says that he teaches kids that you should disobey orders from the people in charge of you, which obviously means that this lady has never played Halo because it's way more complicated than that, alright? Master Chief was very, very loyal to his commanders until they did him dirty, at which point, bruh, I'm not listening to you no more, man. He was literally bred to be a super soldier, man. Like not literally, but like he's literally a superhuman soldier that was made to fight and take orders. What are you talking about, crazy lady? How are you gonna disrespect Master Chief like that, dude? He saved us. He saved us at the time. Okay, I understand now, as a 21-year-old, current Scrubs is aware of the fact that Halo just like, you know, is a video game, and I knew it was a video game back then, but when you're a little kid, when you really like something, it means a lot to you. You know what I'm saying? So I was just straight up pissed that this lady would have the nerve to walk into my elementary school and slander Master Chief. That was, not cool with me. Seriously though, how are you gonna make a presentation about how all these things are evil and teach kids horrible things and like not actually know anything about it, dude? Like, clearly you have never actually played a video game if you think that the stuff that kids take away from video games is a life lesson in the first place. I'm gonna be honest, I played a lot of video games as a kid, and while I learned a lot from them, not once was the lesson from like the actual game. You know, I was never playing Call of Duty like, oh, that's how you do that. No, it was about like, oh man, if I want to get good at this game, I have to work really hard. Or like, oh man, this NPC is just a jerk. Some people are just always mean and there's no redeeming them. Like, certain life lessons that I've learned from video games aren't actually about the game. Like, I've never looked at the game itself and been like, oh, I should be just like Master Chief. I should be a super soldier in space fighting aliens. I've never done that. And if I did look up to a video game character, it was like a certain aspect of them, dude. Like, it wasn't the literal character. I don't think anyone says, I want to be literally the exact same person as them. And if you do, I don't know what to tell you, man. You can never go to space and be a super soldier. You're just kind of out of luck on that one. And obviously, at the time, all the kids were getting upset because a lot of us liked video games, and we're getting upset rightfully so. But genuinely, I just want to know in retrospect, who let this lady come in here? Like, who signed off on this insane lady just coming in and screaming at the children? And what was her pitch? Because you'll find out later in the story, she lied about how she got in, but we never figured out what lies she told them. Like, what was the idea behind her presentation? Oh, I'm gonna come in and talk to kids about video games for an hour, and they still signed off on it? Like, no matter what the cover story is, I don't think anything makes sense, but whatever. We never really got to the bottom of it, but that's because I'm an 8-year-old. So Obviously, I'm sitting here getting yelled at about how much video games suck, and I really like video games, so I'm not too happy about it. And I really just didn't know what I was supposed to learn from it. Like, oh, video games suck and make me a bad person. Well, obviously that didn't work out because it's kind of my job now. So this lady's speech was awful. She put a lot of effort in clearly, but it just wasn't good enough because I'm built different, man. All of us gamers out here, you can't out Karen us, okay? It's just impossible. You just know this lady was the type of lady who like went into her doomsday bunker when Fortnite became super popular. It's the end times, Gerald. Look at all the kids doing the Fortnite dances. You just know that it means that the times are over. The gamers are never gonna give us our land back. It's too late. We have to go into the bunker now. Like, terrified of the idea of Fortnite existing. And listen, yeah, it's cringe, but it's not scary, lady. Whatever. She just starts going on about how anyone who enjoys video games now, too. And she says, anyone who enjoys video games is probably gonna go to hell. And then I remember her stopping and saying, actually, all gamers go to hell. She clarified the probably, which, you know, I'm very grateful for. I'm glad she took the second to clarify that one, dude. So after she says that all gamers go to hell, that's when a teacher finally decides that it's probably been enough at this point because the amount of kids crying when she says that increases dramatically. And I genuinely don't blame the teachers. Like, I know a lot of people down in the comments are going to say that they should have done it sooner, but I'm going to be honest, they were probably in shock. Like, out comes this lady, all the kids are excited, and then she just starts going in on them and telling them that they're gonna go to hell if they play video games. Yeah, you probably don't see that coming, and it probably takes you a second to be like, oh, this is real, this isn't a comedy show, because I'm gonna be honest, if I saw that happening, I would think it was a skit. Like, I would start looking for the hidden camera somewhere. There's no way I would think it was reality. I just happened to be there. So they pull the mic out of this lady's hand, and she's like fighting with the teacher on stage to get it back. She's like hitting him and saying that he's interrupting her work and whatnot, and grabbing at the microphone. And this poor teacher is just doing his best to like stay away from her. And at that point, the rest of the teachers kind of spring into action. It's like this dude going up and grabbing the microphone kind of made them realize that they were teachers, and we were all just kind of confused children looking around not knowing what to do. So like a bunch of them went up and started trying to block us from seeing the lady who hated video games and the teacher fighting. The only problem is they weren't doing a good job, so like all of us third graders are gathered around just watching them literally fighting over the microphone on the stage, and it's still on. So she's screaming like cuss words into the microphone, which, I mean, if video games are a bad influence, I don't know what that is supposed to teach me. No. At least when kids watch my YouTube videos, they learn that naughty words get you demonetized, and you shouldn't get demonetized. Duh. Anyways, she's trying to teach the kids a lesson while fighting a teacher, which is very, very ironic. And then like a couple of the teachers that weren't blocking off the view start just herding us out of the room like cattle just as fast as possible. Usually whenever we would leave the auditorium, it would be like class by class, very nice and organized. Nope. Not in this situation, dude. It was chaos. It was just all the third graders being ran out into the hallway like a stampede of cattle. If there were any other kids in the hallway, I'm very glad they got out of the way, because we were not stopping, dude. That teacher was like, go, 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 go. And we were going, man. He was just kind of making us like run to our classroom. So we finally get back to the class and our teacher comes back. And that's when I start looking around and realize that half the kids in my class are in tears or were in tears. Like, I think a quarter of them at that point are still crying, but over half my class was crying at some point. You know, when their eyes are all puffy and you can just kind of see it. And like all the boys that cried were trying to act tough and hide their heads on the desk because they didn't want to be told that they cried. But that just scared all of the kids. They low-key accidentally traumatized the entire third grade class when they just let this random lady come in without seeing her presentation first, which, like, I don't know. At the time, I wasn't that mad. The older I get, the more ridiculous it is. I'm gonna be honest. Like, you telling me that I can just go to an elementary school and say, hey, I have this presentation that I really want to show the kids, and they'll just say yes? Like, that's how easy it is? What? That blows my mind, dude, that nobody just listened to what she was gonna say first. And if she did lie, then like, you blew it pretty quick, because I'm gonna be honest, the presentation from start to finish was maybe like 5 minutes at the max. It went pretty quick, so if you did lie and come up with a fake real presentation to get on, why blow it so quickly, man? You had our attention, I'll tell you that, but obviously it backfired, because, you know, That's just the way it is. Kids don't like being scared. I don't know why adults don't understand that sometimes. Anyways, once all the kids were traumatized and everything had like calmed down a little bit, our principal comes class to class and like starts giving us this huge apology about how obviously it's the staff's responsibility to like vet the people speaking to us, and he's sorry that he let us down, using very professional words even though we're all third graders, which I respect that he was trying to treat us like adults. That's a very good principal thing to do, but like, at a certain point, I am a child and I need you to explain things to me slowly because I'm in third grade and I don't know what the responsible moral action of a principal is supposed to be, or what that means, to be honest with you, because I was just kind of a dumb kid. Let's keep it a buck. Some of you guys in the comments are like, nope, when I was in the third grade, I could read the dictionary forward, backwards, by memory, upside down. And, I'm very happy for you. I'm just not built like you, I guess. And I wasn't that mad in the first place. So, like, when he was apologizing, I didn't really care. It wasn't my job. But a lot of the kids were not having it. And he slowly realized that no one actually wanted to forgive him. Like, he sat there trying to apologize at the front of our class for maybe 5 minutes straight, just over and over again about how sorry he was, and nobody was having it. Like, the class was dead silent. I remember at one point our teacher tried to get us to engage, like, all right, class, what do you guys think? Nope. None of it. We were just not vibing. It was not gonna work. So he realized that the one way he could buy our cooperation was to buy it. That's what I just said. So he says that he's gonna do a pizza party for the whole grade if we forgive him. And suddenly, dude, it was like it never even happened from that point. I don't even remember people bringing it up a lot, which is crazy because we should have brought that up more. Like, we should have done that more, but for some reason, once he said that he was going to do a pizza party for the whole grade, everybody literally dropped it in 2 seconds flat. Like, genuinely, I had seen kids in that class hold grudges over somebody ruining their sharp crayons, man. And I understand that, because if you mess with the good Crayola and you make it suck, you're a horrible person. But they forgave this dude lickety-split for some pizza parties. So one day later that year, we got a pizza party and they let some crazy lady, yell at us, basically. Moral of the story is, if you let people traumatize you in third grade, sometimes they might give you a pizza party. I'm kidding. That's a horrible lesson. Really, the lesson is that they should do a better job checking what people come into schools, because at no point should a little kid be told that liking video games is going to make him go to hell. That's a horrible thing. That's a horrible thing. I will say, though, if I could go back in time and get yelled at again by that lady and get another pizza party, I would probably do it again, just not as third grade me. I want her to yell at grown-up me, just because I think I would laugh the whole time, which would make her angrier, which would make her yell more ridiculous things, which in turn would make me laugh more. You see what I'm saying? Like, I genuinely think if I go into that fight now, I'm coming out undefeated, dude. Back-to-back victory champion. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. Go ahead and comment the word bazinga as well. Why not? YOLO, you only live once. Sheldon Cooper once said on The Big Bang Theory. I love every show with the laugh track. I just think it makes everything way funnier. All jokes aside, guys, if you're gonna subscribe because you're new, you might as well turn on notifications. I post videos like this basically every single day, and as I've said, it's free and you can always unsub later. Other than that, be sure to check out some of the OG Sub Club and Haha merch. I might have some new merch designs coming sooner rather than later, because thanks to you guys, this channel's actually been growing relatively quickly again. What a GG in the chat. I do appreciate that. Other than that, my TikTok is at Scrubby Stories. If you guys want to follow me on there, you can. No pressure, though. Instagram's at Scrubby. Twitter at Scrubby_69. And other than that, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully, I will see you guys all next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.